am going to start this video off with a disclaimer. Do as I say, not as I do. Always, always, always wear your PPE when soap making or handling any caustic chemicals, including sodium hydroxide, which is what we use in this video. So you'll always want to wear gloves, long sleeves, particularly I found out today while making my Coconut Dreams soap. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Heather, and this is my green tea matcha soap with honey, and I used canola oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and green matcha tea powder. And I think one other oil I may have listed on the side, on the left-hand side there. I used about I think that's a half tablespoon. So I used a tablespoon of green matcha tea powder and 1 tablespoon of honey. And this honey, I usually use locally sourced honey, but I have a very limited supply of that, and it's very sentimental to me. So for my test batch, I wanted to use store-bought honey, which was old, and I didn't liquefy it fully. So in the finished bar, there are sugar granules that look ugly because they're yellow, but they will be exfoliating, so I'm not super mad about it. Anyway, I emulsified the oils with the honey and the green matcha tea, which made it an interesting green color. And then I added my sodium hydroxide water solution, or my lye water solution, which is very toxic, I guess, to breathe in. So that is why you want a mask. You want to wear a mask. And usually I would just wear my old COVID masks, but today I was feeling brave, I guess, because I didn't wear any PPE, and that is a huge no-no. And this is not a tutorial by any means, but I just want to explain what's going on for people who might be watching who don't really know. If you want a full tutorial, I would recommend Royalty Soaps or Brambleberry. They have great beginner tutorial videos for free on their YouTube channels. But I am just bringing the soap batter to trace here. I'm emulsifying the oil mixture with the lye water solution, and I've just brought it to trace. Oh, and then here I'm adding the lavender. So I had split up the batter into 2 separate bowls, and I had soaked the rosemary and lavender essential oils in my rose kaolin clay, because I had heard from Katie at Royalty Soaps that if you soak the oils or the fragrance or the essential oils in the clay before you mix it into the batter, that it will anchor the scent a lot better, because I had noticed in some of my other soaps when I mixed them in separately that the scent didn't stick around very long, which was really disappointing. So I tried it this time, and my soap has been curing for about a week now, a little less than a week, and it still smells so good, which I was really hoping for. So I do the rose kaolin clay in this bowl, and in the next one, there we go, is activated charcoal with the same amount of lavender and rosemary essential oils. And I am not legally, because my soaps are cosmetic, I am not legally allowed to claim that it has any health benefits. So if you want to know the health benefits of activated charcoal and rose kaolin clay, you're more than welcome to Google that, because you'll want to, if you have oily versus dry skin, you'll probably want to know which, obviously they're both in the soap, but you'll want to know if activated charcoal is better for oily skin or for dry skin. And honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not sure, because I don't need to know that to sell my soap. So we're just mixing the activated charcoal into the second bowl of soap batter. And then I do an in the pot swirl, which means I just kind of pour one into the other and let it sit where it wants. I don't mix it any further than that. I just pour from there. I'll pour it into the molds. And at this point, I was really worried that my batter had been too liquidy and that I had mixed too thoroughly and there wouldn't be any swirl. It'd just kind of be like a grayish blob. And I do scrape out my bowl and let it sit for 10 minutes because it needs to set up to put any kind of design on the top, and it's still not as set up as I would like it to be. You can kind of see it's the design kind of sticks, but then it kind of fills itself in, and I just get super impatient with it and start over. And then I finally settle with using the end of the spoon, the other end of the spoon, to do just like a swirly pattern over the top, which I also thought would not stick because it was kind of filling itself in as I went. And there it is before it sets up. And 24 hours later, I pull it open, and there it is. And obviously the swirly design on the top stayed, which I was really excited about. And then I get to use the multi-bar soap cutter that my awesome day job, the doctor that I work for, she bought me for my 1-year anniversary. So I was so excited about that. And you can kind of tell it's more of a cream color than pink as I'd been hoping for, but it's fine. And then when I unmolded this one, it was still kind of tacky, which I was really worried about. Maybe I hadn't let it set up long enough, but as I find out, as it cures, I'm realizing that all that webby, tacky stuff that kind of marred the swirl design, it's not necessarily clearing up, but it's going from white to clear. And I think what they are is glycerin rivers, which just means I used more oil than I really needed, more like olive oil, or I think I added palm oil that I had not accounted for with the lye. So that just means it's really super fatted, which if you don't know what that means, it just means that there's no room for mistake with the lye solution, which is good because that can get really hairy as well. So then I use the multi-bar soap cutter, which I'm so excited about. And this is the first time I'm using it, so I don't know what to expect other than from what I've seen on other soap making videos. So I'm kind of struggling with it at first, but by the time I cut the second bar fully, I get it pretty figured out. Then I'm pulling off here just the side sample pieces. Those have to cure as well, but I use those as samples for personal use. But sometimes if I do a craft show, I'll bring them so people can sniff and look and, all the fun stuff. I would say this bar is pretty ugly. As it cures, it looks better and better. But between the yellow dots from the sugar in the honey and the white webbing and the skin colored swirl, it's just like, it's not a pretty bar. It smells so good. I can promise you guys that. As it cures, it gets a little prettier, but I am so happy you stopped by. Please come again, and I hope to see you all soon. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. We'll see you again.